Hey, 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 what do you say, everyone? Welcome to Teal Time with Hope. I am the host, Hope Aguilar. Today's special treat comes from Lucy. Lucy, where are you coming from?
I come from South Carolina. We're between South Carolina and North Carolina.
Awesome. Well, Miss Lucy, I have never met you in person, but before we started the recording, I had the pleasure of getting to know you these last 30 minutes. And I'm just so glad that I saw you on Instagram for the audience. That's where I saw Lucy. That's where I was intrigued by Lucy, and I wanted to know more about her story. And I wanted her to come on and be my guest. And she's like, yes. And I'm like, awesome. So thank you, Lucy. Thank you for taking some
No,
time.
thank you for having me and for spotting me in my Dancing Through Cancer Instagram page.
Oh,
And here we are to share our stories together.
yes. Yes, here we are. And here fun fact about Lucy, she actually knows the previous guest, Miss Shannon. And
Yes,
how do
from
you know each
Teal
other?
Diva. Well, I actually joined Teal Diva and this beautiful sisterhood that Shannon created. And I'm part of them right now.
Okay, well, thank you, because we're not gonna say too much too soon because we wanna get your backstory first, and towards the end, we'll get, like, how exactly did you connect with him and why. But we'll go from the beginning. I guess we should start at the beginning. I'd love to know the whole dancing part of your Instagram name, and I just tell everybody right now, I've only known you in person, through this video for 30 minutes, but you are just a big bright light. You smile, you laugh, you're full of optimism and positivity, and I'm taken aback by that. So I really love your energy, Lucy.
Oh, thank you so much, Hope. Your name, I love it, by the way, because hope is the last thing that we lose. So for me, it was so nice to know that Hope was wanted to talk to me.
Ah,
Um,
thank you. Thank you.
and yes, with that positivity that I want to share, and that's that's my thing that I want to share with everybody: to have hope, to have light. God has you. And if we're still
Yes.
here, that we are, is because we have been blessed. And people we have lost, I always think that God had a better plan for them. He needed those people for him to do something else. And that's valid. To tell you more about my story, I was diagnosed actually when I was 40, just before my birthday. My birthday is in August, and I was diagnosed in April. And the symptoms, I was in shock, basically. Like a lot of us are shocked when you get diagnosed because you don't know the symptoms, you don't know even that this type of cancer is out there because you don't hear it a lot. We always hear about breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, and lung cancer, like other type of cancer, but never I heard about ovarian cancer. And when I was diagnosed, it was like, boom, here you go, something new that you're gonna learn. And it was actually, I didn't have any pain or anything. What I just had was a discomfort in my abdomen. And it was a discomfort that I was like, oh, maybe I did sit up in the incorrect way. I was going to the gym. Um, and the people that know me, they know that I'm not very athletic at all. So I really thought that it was something that I pulled or something that I did wrong, and I said, okay, a friend of mine and my husband is like, oh, if you still have this discomfort in a week, you should check it out. So that's what I did, but I didn't know who to reach out to, which doctor, if it was my OB, if it was my personal doctor. Like I didn't know who to reach out. But basically I said, oh, I am due for my pap smear. So I will see if my OB could see me, or whoever has the spot first. If you live here in the United States, you know that to get a doctor's appointment sometimes is a challenge, that they are open or that they have an appointment for you. So basically, I gave it to God's hands and I said, whoever has the appointment first, that's the one that I'm going to go. So I was lucky enough that it was my OB, and I went for my pap smear. And while he was doing my pap smear, I said, "Oh, you know, I have been having this discomfort for so you know." And he checked and he said, "Oh, I can feel something in your ovaries." But at that point, he didn't even said the word cancer. He said some other things that I didn't even understand. And when I was walking out, he said, "Are you able to come for an ultrasound this afternoon?" And yes, of course, I will come with my entire crew. I have 3 kids under the age of 11. So I went with my entire crew to get my ultrasound, all of them with me. The doctor starts speaking to me after the ultrasound, but I kept laughing, of course, because I was nervous. I laugh when I'm nervous as well. But at that point, he never said there that it was cancer. He sent me to do a CT scan. I have never been into a CT scan. I didn't know that a CT scan was for to see if there is cancer. So I was also blinded in that way. The next day I was called to get a CT scan, and I still went for my CT scan blind without thinking that it could have been cancer or anything until I was driving. My CT scan was at 9 in the morning. At 11, my OB called me. That man, he's my angel. He's my friend because he's not my doctor anymore. He's my friend. We became really close as friends. And for him to be able to tell me what he was going to tell me, I know it had to be for him devastating because the way that he told me was like, "I don't know how to tell you this, but you have ovarian cancer." I don't know how I didn't crash since I was
You were on the
driving.
phone?
I was on the phone and I had to stop the car. I started crying. Kudos to my doctor, my OB, Dr. Termin that I love. He was there. He's still there for me all the step of the way. Like I don't know how he pulled through to get me together and said, you know, I already talked to a doctor that's a friend of mine that I'm gonna send you to. Like I was blessed. I was really blessed to have him because at that point that I was so nervous that I didn't know, like my world shut down in less than a minute. Thinking about my family, thinking about my friend. I'm very close to my family. I'm Hispanic, origin from Venezuela, and we are very close to our family. So just thinking about my kids, what's going to happen to me? I'm going to die, and how it's going to be. Uh, I hang up the phone.
Your mind went just pretty much
My
everywhere.
went everywhere, and that's valid, right? And I remember I didn't know how to call my husband at that point. And the first one that I called was actually my brother because he's very put together and he knew how to calm me down in a way. Not saying that my husband doesn't know how to do that, but I know he was going to be so emotional that I needed somebody else, and that was my brother in that case. And I called him crying, say, "I'm gonna die. They just told me this. I'm just gonna die." And he said, "No, they didn't say that. We need to hear what they have to say. You have to go to your doctor, and we have to put a plan for this. We need," and that's how everything started. He said, "You need a puzzle." And I start constructing my puzzle.
This was your brother.
This was my brother. I know that he was suffering of what I was just telling him because it's just the two of us. And he's very, very close, and we're very close. And I asked him, "What's the puzzle?" The puzzle is, in my case, I know everybody, their puzzle is in a different way. But in my case, my puzzle was in the middle is God. And around the puzzle comes different people, people that are your medical team, your family, friends, and also the friends that will start becoming friends because they're starting to pray for you without even knowing you. So, because at that point, you don't have, your head is not in the right place to even pray for yourself. But then you have your friends and friends of your friends that start praying for you.
Yeah.
So that's basically part of your support system. In my case, my puzzle. And I start being calmed down. I called my husband. I told him. He waited for me at home. The kids were at school, and he waited for me at home to have that big hug, that support that he gave me all the time, and say, "We're gonna go through this together. You're not alone." And that's one of the things that I want to tell everybody. You are not alone in this battle. you know, let's not cocoon ourselves in that fear, the fear of dying, of fear of what's going to
Absolutely.
happen. And that's when I decided my faith have to be bigger than my fear, and that's what I say. If God puts me in this place is because of a reason, and we're gonna fight. And I have always had that. My mom had showed me that, my dad has shown me that, my grandparents have showed me that your faith comes before anything, and you are here because God wants you here, and you just have to fight, surrender, and just give whatever you got, you know and
Yeah.
that's how
Mm,
everything started.
and you
So
had a lot to fight for, not just your parents and your grandmother, but you have 3 beautiful children.
exactly. And I wanted to show my kids that yes, life, it's a roller coaster. You don't know, you can be up or down, but it's in you to fight for it. Life is difficult. Yes, it is difficult. It has its challenges, it has its beauty, but it's worth living. It's worth living and fighting for it. And that's the thing that I want my kids to know, that you fight for it, to be part of it.
Right. Thank you for sharing that, Lucy. Your personality, from what I see, has always kind of been a positive. Did going through cancer increase who you are as a positive person? Or were you always that way, or just the circumstances made you even way, way more of a positive person?
Well, actually, it's funny that you ask me because that's a question that everybody asks. I'm not happy all the time. That's valid.
So you're human. That's good.
I'm
It's good to know you're
human. Yes.
human.
I checked this morning and I'm still
You're
human.
still
Yes.
human. That's good. That's good.
Yes,
I'm in
I
good
am.
company. I'm in good company.
Yes. And my grandma used to say something very wise to all of us, that it was like the perfect one is in the cross. Nobody's perfect. And there's nothing perfect about Lucy. There's no perfect in hope. The perfect one is in the cross.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm not here to be perfect. I'm human as anybody else. But I did pray. I did pray that give me that light, give me, and that's one of the things that the dancing through cancer came in, was that why am I here? Give me the strength. If I'm already in this position, give me the strength to go through it. Give me the joy, the light, the hope that a lot of people, when I went into that chemo room, do not have. It is a place that is cold. It is an atmosphere that you just want to sit down and cry,
Mhm.
basically. And going, oh, why? Because why me? Why me? And I have always been positive, yes. But when you start going through challenges in your life, I have learned, again, because of my parents and grandparents, that if you're going through a challenge, I never like people say, oh, pity Lucy, or oh, poor Lucy. Poor Lucy, nothing. Lucy's here. Lucy's here to fight. And no,
Yes,
poor Lucy. So if
girl.
you're thinking about me, about poor Lucy, that, oh, or the thing that a lot of people maybe had said to you, Hope, or to anybody that
Yeah.
has going through something hard in their life, and they come and say to you, oh, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. No, everybody out there, please think about something else. Do not go and say, oh, I'm sorry. you shouldn't feel, and I used to say to people, oh no, do not feel sorry. I do not want you to feel sorry for me, because if I'm having this, is because God, in a way, is using me through me for something.
For a lot of women I've talked to, that's one of the things. It's the intentions are great, when you say, "I'm sorry," you're wanting to show support, but at
Mhm.
the same time, it's sometimes like when you're in it, when you're the one in it and people, "Oh, I am so sorry." It's almost as if you're already thinking they're gonna die.
Still here, people. I'm still here.
"Still here, baby."
Please don't start planning because I'm still here. So that those kind of things, that yes, I have always been with a smile. People know me because of my personality, yes. But I do strongly believe that after my diagnosis, I feel God gave me even more of a hope, more of a positivity, because I really want to share, empower other women, other families out there, that yes, you may be struggling in life, you may be going through something, through a divorce, to anything hard in your life. But if you have that attitude of positivity, of going like, we are still here, there is a reason we're still alive, we're still breathing, every little thing, then, you know, that positivity helps. It brings you out. And I really believe that that's one of the things that have saved me. And one of the things that I want to do through my page, to empower those women, to help those women that are going through not only cancer, but struggles in life, you know. And I think that God has helped me. So to answer again your question, yes, I have always had this personality, but with my diagnosis, I am stronger of a believer that, because of the positivity and the attitude you have through life, for life, and how you see life through a different lens, it can be an impact and a change to save you in a
I
way.
love it, and again, I like that I mean, I think it's important that you're like, whether you're going through cancer, divorce, something that is something that you don't know if you're gonna be able to make it through, even hearing the story of your story, of my story, of other stories of people with optimism and positivity and faith that God's
Mhm,
got you and that you'll
mhm,
never be alone. You never know how that's gonna impact somebody else's life. Yeah, we're talking about cancer, and that's our main focus, but other people can get inspiration just through hearing our stories by saying, like, "Wow, if Lucy and Hope can get through that with that kind of mentality and attitude, then
exactly,
I'm gonna be grateful for my life." And
exactly,
I'm not
exactly.
gonna let myself feel sorry for myself, and I'm not gonna let myself feel, pity, because I'm gonna be
Mhm,
able to get through this because they got through it, and they're getting through it
exactly.
every day, and they've turned something negative into something positive, and I love that about dancing, Lucy. I
Yes, and
love dancing, and I've loved dancing for a long time, and dancing through cancer and dancing, period, is just such releases those endorphins and then dopamine and all of that,
yes, it
and
was. It is funny that when I started my chemo, I never thought that I was going to go through it with my dancing, or with the singing. I never thought about it that way until, again, I prayed for it. Why? Give me, that light, share with me something that I will know this is what I'm meant to do. And that's when it hit me. Like when I was like, oh, everybody's so sad, nobody talks, some people are sleeping, some people are reading. I'm not a big reader. And I said, what is something that I love to do? And what I love to do is to dance. And my husband asked a friend of mine to do playlists of my favorite songs. So I was able to listen to it while I was in chemo. And I started like that. I started listening to my music with some headphones so I didn't distract, other people, that it's valid, that they don't like it, that, that they're there to just have their quiet
of
time.
course, yeah.
Uh, and then for some reason, one of the nurses uh, heard me that I was hearing music, and I just something happened. And when I was heading to the bathroom, I started dancing with my headphones on, and I could see people around me just looking at me, the nurses laughing, and I was like, "Wow, that's it! Boom!" Like my daughter says, "Boom! There I have it. There, this is what I'm meant to do." The nurses are laughing. I'm giving them a good time. I'm feeling happy inside of me. My husband seems more relaxed because he was the one that was next to me, sitting in the chair next to me. And I was like, that's it. That's what I'm meant to do. I'm bringing joy, and hope to everybody around me, and not to everybody around me, but to my family, to my friends, to the nurses that are there. That is so hard. If you're an oncology nurse, you know what I'm talking about. People complaining if it's hurting, and it's valid that you complain because it hurts you, but it's hard for them. It is hard for a nurse to be there, and they're so compassionate. Like the
Mhm.
nurses, the oncology nurses are like, whoa, up there for me, and the doctors as well. It's a different ball game, and I wanted to do something for them because they were doing something for me. They were being caring, and that's how I started dancing. And they gave me the surprise of bringing music therapy that I didn't even know, because I didn't read anything they gave me of all the different supports the clinic had offered. And I didn't know about it, but until they surprised me and somebody came out from music therapy and say, "Oh, would you want to hear a song?" And I was like, "Oh yes, definitely. I love Coldplay. Can you please sing me a song from Coldplay?" And that's how everything started. And little by little, like the first time I was with my headphones, after that person came from music therapy, forget the headphones. I will bring my phone, and everybody around me will hear my music, will see me dancing. Of course, there were people that say, like, "Oh, what is she doing? Why? Like, she has cancer and she can die. Why is she dancing?" And I could see their faces on some of them saying, like, "She's crazy. You just have to send her away, you know."
She's gotta be
But,
crazy.
she has to go, to that place
Yeah.
where they have the crazy people.
Uh,
I think she has to go there. But I, I didn't care. I didn't care. I was in my own little moment, doing what I was supposed to do and what God wanted me to do. And yes, some people didn't like it, but guess what? There were other people that did like it. There were other people that I was able to make a different day for them. And that for me gave me the world. It gave me dancing more for my kids. I speak to all the parents out there. The kids, you feel that the kids don't join or won't understand, guess what? They are your teachers, because
mm.
mine were, they used to pick with me the music that I was going to dance the next day or the following day. They will come from school asking, "Can you show us the video? How did you dance? With who did you dance today?" Or like, "How did you change somebody's day?" So, yes, cancer, and this word is so big for so many and frightens for so many. But if you see it in a different way, if you see it as like, okay, God gave me this, how can I bring this to learn from this in a way? How can something like this help everybody in my family, my kids, to learn from life? It's something that happens to you as a family. And not only you are suffering, your kids, your husband is suffering, because they may be in a way that they want to help you. And guess what? They're not there. They are not able to help you. Only God can knows, and your doctors tell you what to do.
And they feel
And
helpless.
they feel very helpless
Yeah.
because It's like they don't want you to go through that pain. They see you in pain, they see you in discomfort, but they're carrying their own cross with you.
Mhm.
And sometimes we need to be aware of that. That is not only you going through through this name that we don't like to speak about, but guess
Mhm.
what? We need to speak about it. We need
Right.
to tell people out there what's going on because, like myself, or like you, or like so many other women that I have met, they don't have a clue about it. They don't know about the symptoms. They don't have nothing. And guess what? The more we talked about it, the more you hear about it, the more aware you are about it. Guess what? Either you could save your life or somebody around you can save
Absolutely.
their life. So, yes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, and I think the dancing part would have been really good when I was going through it the first time for me, because the first time I was at the VA hospital, and the VA hospital runs a different way of doing it than UT Southwest. UT Southwest was more bougie, you get your own little glass, suite, and you're by yourself, and it's so very different, but over at the VA hospital, it sounds like what you had, where it's like an open area,
Yeah,
and there are a bunch of people going through their chemo. And it was so quiet, and it was so cold, and it was so almost depressing, and so
depressing.
when
That's the
if
word.
I would have had somebody like you or a music therapy, like they offer you music therapy at UT Southwest as well, I would have I probably now I was on Benadryl, and the Benadryl, I was really loopy, I'm a very lightweight, so I'd have been loopy, but I would have, because I couldn't sleep during chemo. But if I
Yes,
would have had somebody like you next to me, I would have been loopy, like drugged up, probably dancing
exactly.
with you, just carefully.
Yes, yes.
And it
And
definitely, Lucy, would have made a big difference in that environment that I was in. And even if I was in the UT Southwest, which, like I said, they have like these glass partitions, like little baby rooms that are separate,
mhm,
like almost VIP. But if I would
mhm,
have saw you go into the bathroom dancing, it would have made me smile. It would have
exactly.
made me smile. I'm the opposite of some people. I would have been like, "She's not crazy, she's awesome, and if she's crazy, she's a good crazy, and I wanna be on that good crazy train with her." And I just love that way of turning something so sad and depressing at times into something positive. And it's not gonna be for everybody, we know that. Just like talking about it's not for everybody. We talked about that before we started recording. You shared
Yes,
with me that some people don't even wanna follow you anymore because, you talk about cancer too much.
yes, and it's funny when they say that, and I'm very like, "Ugh, please, please listen. It's not that I want to have this dancing through page to just speak about cancer. No, because it's not what I want to share. What I want to share is the hope, the support, that you're not alone, that yes, you may see my dance, and my dance can show other people that you can see life through a different lens, and that your attitude can make a difference. And it's valid that we don't want to hear about the word. It's valid that it makes you nervous, or it's also valid like, oh, Lucy's sharing signs. Now I feel that I have cancer because I have this. No, it's not about that, people.
Right.
It's about knowing. It's about getting to know more about it and inform. You know,
Right, knowledge
because
is power.
exactly, exactly. So I do not feel that I'm sharing something sad. I'm sharing something that could save your life or somebody around you. Because again, like you said, Hope, knowledge is power, and not to know in my case, I thought that now that I look back and I see the symptoms, I'm like, oh, I may had had that, and I never share it with my doctor. Maybe because I was too shy to
Mm.
share it. Maybe because you may be ashamed to share it, or you think it may be a sign for something different, but your body is so wise. And like for example, some of the symptoms may be that you may have discomfort or pain having intimacy um, with your husband or your significant other, or what however you want to call it. But And you may not share that, or you may think that that's normal. And guess what? It may not be normal, but you need to speak up. You need to say, this is something different. It might be something that is not to worry about, and it's okay, and that's the best case scenario. But why if it's not? Why, if you speak up and you can be stage one and not in the way that we found out that we both are stage three ovarian cancer. And
What a
again,
difference it can make.
it can be
Excuse
a
me. Yeah,
huge
what a difference
difference.
it can make when you
Uh,
speak
And
up.
and going on that note of knowledge, having that knowledge also could be like, if your family, in my case, I had family history of different kind of cancer, breast cancer, uh, bile duct cancer, bladder cancer, brain cancer, like different kind of cancers, and it never hit me. First, I didn't know that you can actually get a test to know if you have a gene about it. We have heard it. Maybe now I hear it more, but before I didn't even know that Angelina Jolie had the, you know, now everybody tells me about it, but I didn't even know it, believe it or not.
Yeah, the
I
BRCA
didn't,
gene.
the
Mm.
BRCA gene. And I found out that, yes, my family had history, but I never told my doctor, like, oh, may I have that gene? I never thought about it. And guess what? Surprise, surprise, baby. I had the gene. I carry the gene, and now they can treat me. They treat me in a different way than somebody that doesn't have the gene. I have other medications. And so, yes, knowledge is power.
That's why if we don't talk about it, who's going to talk about it for that next woman who's gonna go down and, find out that, "Hey, what do you mean I have ovarian cancer? What is ovarian cancer? What is the
Yeah.
BRCA gene? What?" And we don't want that.
Don't go running to your doctors, because that happened to myself as well, that when I got diagnosed, many people out there went running to get the pap smear because they thought Lucy wasn't having her annual pap smear. And guess what? Ovarian cancer is not diagnosed with a pap smear.
Right.
So, like, again, knowledge is power. You do not get diagnosed with ovarian cancer with a pap smear.
Yes, still go get it. Great, go get it, but it's not ovarian, uterus, cervical, all those other things. Yeah, it's good to stay abreast, stay proactive, get your, checkups and stuff. And I think, Lucy Shannon said something that it was really important. It's like, you can the best screening is to listen to your body, because
Exactly.
nobody knows our body but us more than anybody, more than the
Exactly.
doctor, more than your husband, more than anybody. We know our body more than anybody, and you've got to listen to your body because it talks to us.
And you need to not be afraid to speak up, because it's better to know than not to know. It's better that you go and that they tell you you may have something than not to go and then you find out later on, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to
Ah,
be,
I have a friend who said something in passing. She was like, "If I don't wanna know, I won't go."
mhm, that's
And I
right.
was like, "Wow, how many of us out here, out there, all over the world kind of think like that, even if we don't consciously think it, it's there. If I don't want to know, I will not go." And that hit
Exactly.
me because I was like, I was that way. A
Mhm.
lot of us are that way. We're like, "Well, I'd rather not know than know." Yeah, I just rather if I get cancer, I get cancer. I'd rather just it's just, but we're not gonna go peacefully in the night. Cancer doesn't work that
Yes,
way. It's going to
exactly.
be horrible. It's better to know than not know, because at least with that knowledge, right, with that awareness,
You can, yes, you can do something about it. You can fight for it, you know?
and get caught
Um,
early, and get caught early,
exactly,
and which is what our
exactly.
hope.
And it's the same thing with life. Like what we were talking about it before, it's not only with cancer. It's better to, for example, just a case that it's better to know if your husband is cheating on you than not to know, for
Yes.
example,
Of
in
course, yeah,
that
it's
case.
it's better to know, it's better to keep aware and pay attention and just, the humdrum of
Yes,
life, and you don't pay attention to the little things that could actually save your marriage. It's better to know about your children, like, you pay attention to your children, you pay attention to what they're doing on their social media, what are they doing on their
exactly.
phone, who are they talking to?
So you can help them go through it,
Right.
navigate through it. Something is weird or something doesn't feel right, or I feel this way or the other way. And yeah, I truly,
It literally
um,
could be a matter of life and death. I've seen that, you've seen that, we are
yes,
still here, but there are those women that we will talk about again and again. There are just too many who are not here anymore because something wasn't given to them. They didn't know the signs and symptoms. They never heard the stories. They didn't know, you know?
exactly,
So
exactly.
with us still being here, and Lucy, you said that about like, you're still here, I'm still here, Shannon's still here because we still have purpose for whatever reason. We have
Mhm,
to look at it that way because if we don't look at it that way, then we can get caught up in survivor's guilt and
exactly.
depression and
Mhm.
wondering like, why am I still
No,
here?
and that's valid. It's valid to be sad sometimes. It's valid because a lot of people, again, going back to one of your questions, am I always happy? Am I always cheerful? Am I always smiling? No. And it's valid to feel sometimes sad. It's valid to feel sometimes that fear. That's valid. We all feel that. We are all human. But
Mhm.
it's how you going being down, how do you get up? How do you bounce back? Or how do you show the people to yourself first, but to the people, in my case, my kids, my husband, and my family, how am I bouncing back and getting up there again and say,
Moving
no,
forward.
okay, like, and I heard something actually that Shannon said, and it's true. Yes, cancer may got me today, but tomorrow, guess what? I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight him, and he's not gonna get me next time.
Right, I love
Okay,
that
and that
too.
and
Like,
that and
today
that's
you might
true.
win, but I'm
Not
coming back.
today,
I'm still
not
yeah.
today, baby. Today I win.
Yeah.
Today I got up, I went to my chemo, I went dancing, and I show everybody else you can stand up, you can sing, you can dance, and you can have that joyful. And then I learned so many other things that even doctors talking about it, about how dancing is so nice, with
Very
all
good.
you for your mind, for your body, for everything. If you have that attitude, it helps.
Dancing is
And
therapy to me.
it is therapy. It is therapy. And it doesn't matter if you don't dance very good. You just stand up, do something that you love, that you share, that you enjoy doing. And the rest is up to God, and just give it up to Him. And
Just
that's one of the things that I do, that I constantly work for it, because again, there are days that are good, there are days that are bad,
mhm,
and you don't necessarily have to have cancer or going through something like this to feel that way. Life
mhm,
is messy. It's worth living. It's worth, because it has so many nice moments of the little things in life, that
mhm.
you can be happy and grateful and blessed for it. So
Absolutely. And I'm
yes.
glad that you're using your experience to continue to motivate people after, right? So you've been in are you considered remission? Are you considered NED? What do the doctors
Yes, I'm
consider you?
considered remission.
Okay, wonderful.
Uh, yes, I'm taking a pill called Imparsa
Mhm.
for 2 years.
It's like a
To,
maintenance pill, I believe,
yes,
like an
a
oral maintenance
maintenance
pill.
pill. Of course, it has its ups and downs. I keep telling people, it's not just taking the pill and you're good. No, there are days that are good and there are days that are bad. There are days that you don't feel very good, you feel nauseous, and all of those nice little things. But again, I feel that those are just additions to the
Mhm.
things. I have learned, or I'm trying to learn, to live with my new Lucy style and be positive about it. I'm still here. I'm still alive.
I'm
And the
still here.
same thing goes with, if people, our audience are listening out there. There may be people that are going through cancer right now, through chemotherapy right now, and they have losing their hair, you know, or feeling very ill or things like that,
Fatigue.
fatigue and tiredness. And that's valid. That's part of the process. And it's not that I'm going to say, oh, you're going to be good. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And you're not alone, and you will go through it. If they let us, we can go through it with them, and their family and their support, their puzzle is very important. We have so many organizations. Teal Diva is one of
Wow, then
them.
that's a good segue. So what
Yes,
when did you get a part of Till? Because 'cause you're a part she actually, of course, like we said, she knows Shannon, and how did, I think we said that at the beginning. If we didn't,
yes.
my apologies. She knows Shannon, and the reason she knows Shannon, I think we did talk for a second about it. How did you get into that organization, and when? When
Well,
exactly did you
actually, when I started my Instagram page, with that's called Dancing Through Cancer, because I danced through the cancer. That's how the name came out. Um, Somebody reached out to me, like you did as well,
Mhm.
and they are from another organization that is with awareness, and it's called Teal Butterfly. That we do the butterfly like
Oh, yes,
this.
yes,
Yes,
yeah.
that's why you see my nails with
Yeah.
the teal butterfly. And she reached out to me, and we talked, and she said, I want you to meet a friend of mine, and that she also do events and things like that. And she introduced me to Shannon.
Oh, awesome,
And
awesome,
they're
awesome.
actually the teal butterfly. She lost her sister through ovarian cancer, so that's how teal butterfly came up. And I met Shannon, and I was invited to one of her events. And I do have to say, and this can happen to anybody out there, and it's okay and it's valid. The first event I went, it was nice. It was nice meeting other ladies out there that have gone through the same thing I went. But then after that day, I had a good time, everything. But then when I went home, I started thinking of all of the conversations I had that day, people with reoccurrence, people that had passed away, people that cancer have never gone away. And all of those talks and conversations really upset me. And I was depressed. I'm open to say it. I was depressed like for a week, uh, thinking, and that fear consuming me of what happens if it comes back. Oh,
Do
I
you feel
did.
like it was too much too soon?
It was too much for me, and I wasn't ready for it. And I was like, no, I cannot join this group because I don't want to hear the bad things that are going on with other people. You know, I
It's
was like,
understandable. I
yes,
mean,
I
you're
was
only
like,
human going back to
I
that.
just want to get back with my life, forget I even had cancer, and just move on, you know. And then months passed until I came back. Um, but I think it was God again that brought me back. And say, okay, hello, knock knock. I told you you're here for a reason.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I came back, and I think in a way I came back stronger. I told Shannon I want to be. They sent an email about having people in their board, and I said, that's it. I'm just jumping in this pool again and being part of the board and being part with these amazing ladies. And then I start hearing good things about people like Shannon, 15 years, no reoccurrence, she's still here. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to. I want to be that case. I don't want to be the other case, and we were talking about it before, that everybody's journey is different. The journey of somebody, it doesn't necessarily has to be yours. Everybody goes through this journey in a different way. It's valid however you want to navigate this life in general. My journey is through happiness, through positivity,
Dancing.
through dancing, through singing. I don't sing very well at all. My brother is the one that sings very good. I would love to dance with any of you, but it's through God, that through my faith, that I'm here, and I'm blessed, and through my family and friends and my support. So if you don't have anybody, if you don't have friends or family, and you're by yourself going through this, I strongly say join, you know, because you may find somebody that can help you and support you in a way. And in my case, yes, it was Teal Diva and Teal Butterfly.
It's a sisterhood.
I'm originally from Venezuela, and we don't have the sororities or anything like this. And when you see it, it's so funny in movies or things like that. I know that it sounds superficial, but in my case, when I see it, oh, now I have a sisterhood. I always wanted to have, that sisters, and that we're stronger together. And that's one of the good things that I have had through my cancer journey. And somebody told me the other day that in one thing, in an event that I went to, she said, Lucy, you go in to this journey by yourself because you're the one that's going through it with the pain and everything. You go in by yourself, but not necessarily come out by yourself. And in my case, that's it. Now I have so many sisters. I have people that I thought that they were just acquaintance. They were by my side, bringing food, sending me messages, praying for me. I have met so many other nice people like you, Hope, and
Oh,
other people that have reached out.
we're a part of a community that we didn't wanna be a part of, right? We never asked to be a part of this, but we do have it.
Now that I have it, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to help and empower other women out there that have reached out to me through my Instagram page, people from my country, people from Europe, all around the world. And that's the message that I want. That's the message of positivity, hope, light, of like, oh, I'm feeling sad this day, but talking to you, you get it. Because when you haven't gone through something, you don't you may have want to get that person, but you actually do not get it because you haven't gone through it. So to have this page and to help those women that just want to speak to somebody that went through it, that understands them, that knows what they're going through. That's why I opened this page. It's not about being famous. Like, I don't care about that. I care about helping other women, empower other women out there. And yes, heart to heart, from me to you. That's
Yes.
what I want to be, that heart to heart with those persons that are going through something difficult in their life. And if I could help them just a little bit, about just with my laughing, with just listening to them and being that shoulder just to listen, that's me. That's Lucy. That's the dancing through cancer. Like they call me in the hospital, that they say that she's the dancing queen. It's not like, oh, I'm the dancing queen. No, is the one that I want to share with, is the one that I want to support, it is the one that I want to empower, you know?
No, I love it. And also it is something that I believe in, and I feel strongly you do too. Even if you just touch one life, one, it makes it worth it. It makes it worth it. What we have had to go through, all the struggle and the pain and at times heartache and the questions of wondering, not knowing where tomorrow is gonna be.
That's key, because that's something that when you go through life, because you don't know if something in your life is going to happen again, is for example, is the wonder of, is this going to come back? Is somebody going to stab me in the back again? And that can be a lesson. In my case, for example, it's a lesson for my kids because you never know. You just have to get in the pool and swim. Just
Mhm.
like the movie Dory, you just keep swimming,
Just
keep
keep
swimming,
swimming.
keep swimming. You need to keep swimming until when it's your time. But we're here and we're going to keep talking about it. And is people out there that are listening to us, either you get on the boat or you don't, you know,
And our hope is that you do.
not because you're going to get it, is that you get to know this and you can help other people around us and around yourself and your family and people close to you and get to more people. That's why I always tell people, share my story, share Hope's story,
Sharing is
share this,
caring.
yeah, share this podcast
Right.
because my story may not be your story, but it may be somebody close to you that that story can hit them. And that way, you could be that support to somebody close to you. You can be the part of their puzzle. Why
Yeah.
not? I had people that helped me. So why not give back and help other people's around you and be like just hugs here and there. Hug somebody that you don't know if that hug will go a long way, you know?
Too.
If you are kind, if you do everything that you do with compassion, love, kindness, we will have a very different world.
So true. And I also wanted to add that I think we may have spoke about it before the recording started, but it is it's easy to just keep it to ourselves. It's easy to not talk about it. It's a very emotional thing what you went through. It's a very emotional thing what I went through. It is not easy to initially talk about it, and it might be even just easier for us to never talk about it, never think about it, never wanna be around it because it's so emotional, but we choose to say, "You know what? If I can help one person," and I know we can by our positivity and our hope and our faith in God in sharing our stories, we know that people could be saved, possibly lives can be saved, and that's not an easy thing, Lucy.
Yeah,
You talk about recurrence. I had it, then I got it again, and then I got it again. But I'm here to tell people I'm still here too. And it's been
exactly.
almost 13 years, and I'm not just barely living. I'm thriving, not just barely existing. I'm out there, I'm walking, or if I'm biking, or if I'm Ubering, or if I'm traveling, if I'm podcasting, if I'm writing. It's all because by the grace of God, number 1, and also to show other people that we're not defined by cancer.
We're not defined by cancer. We're not defined if we don't have hair. I share with you the story when I lost my hair, and it's valid to be sad, but the story with me, with my kids, how my kids show me that you're still my mom and you're still beautiful with hair or without hair. The hair, the clothes you wear, that doesn't define you. What defines you is the way you are, what's inside of you, and where you are given to the world, basically. So yes,
I love that you have that support, and they've been a rock for you, and you have been a rock in showing them, "Look at mommy. Yes, this is not great. Of course, I'm not gonna act like it's beautiful that I went through cancer or was going through it, but it's how you react to it." And the fact that
exactly.
you're still willing to share in your Instagram.
And it's hard. It's hard to share. I do appreciate when people come up to me and say, "Thank you for sharing your story," or "We want to hear your story." But it's hard. It's not that we share it to just share it. No, we share it because we truly believe that if God save us, we can help God save others. But by knowing, by sharing, by being that little window that out, that light at the end of the tunnel, that rainbow, like, yes, and like a doctor that actually danced with me in many occasions. I love him as well. He has said to me, "You have changed me in so many ways," and I never thought about it that way. because he changed me by being next to me, you know? So I think it goes, you change, but other people change you in a way as well, in a way of how you see life with a different lens of the live today, tomorrow, it's uncertain. And that's how I try to live my life now, is the now. The tomorrow, we don't know if we're going to get to tomorrow, but nobody knows. It can be,
Nobody knows.
it doesn't necessarily mean that because you have cancer, you're going to die. It doesn't necessarily mean if you have another disease, you're going to die, because you can walk out the door and have an accident and you're goodbye, you know?
Yeah. All we have is right now. All we have is right now. And I wanted to ask you before, because we could talk for 5 hours,
Oh,
really,
yes, for
but
sure.
I know you've
We
given
can
me a lot of your free time as a mom of 3, but I wanted to ask you just real quick, if it's okay, like, what are some of the pearls of wisdom? I always like to ask guests. You've touched on stuff already, but is there something, one thing specifically that you would wanna tell somebody that is either going through cancer or has had gone through cancer?
live your life, enjoy your life as it is now. So, because again, tomorrow, you don't know. Enjoy everything. Now I enjoy. They call me and they say, "You want to take this trip?" Yes. "You want to do this?" Yes. If I can do it, I'll make it happen to do it. You know, I try to live right now my life to the fullest.
I love that.
Not looking back. What happened in the past stays in the past.
Mhm.
Leave what you have in front of you. Like in my case, I leave Lucy. What is Lucy today? What Lucy was 2 years ago, 4 years ago, that Lucy is in the past. Learn what you learn, use it, and leave Lucy as of now.
I love it. And Lucy, your Instagram account is, I'm gonna put it on my details, but can you give the audience the name?
Yes, it's dancing through cancer.
Dancing Through Cancer, y'all, on Instagram. You
Hopefully, soon enough, you'll be hearing my podcast as well.
yes, there we go. I'm
Yeah,
trying to, if I can be the part that motivates you to do a podcast, then I'm all about that.
you'll be hearing about that for sure.
Okay. Well, you just keep me posted so I can put a plug on it whenever that happens on a future episode. Thank you again, Lucy. Miss Lucy out of South Carolina, originally from Venezuela.
That's
Is there
correct.
anything in Spanish you wanna tell the audience real quick? Anything for the, Spanish listeners?
Yes, for sure. No están solo. Siempre escuchen su cuerpo. Y estamos aquí. Síganme por Dancing Through Cancer. Gracias, Hope.
Oh, gracias, Miss Lucy. Everybody, this has been Lucy Dancing with Cancer on Instagram out of South Carolina. Thank you for sharing your beautiful story. And I saw one of your beautiful children for a second, and you just keep rocking this world with your Teal love and your love for God and your love for life. And keep dancing. I'll be dancing with you here in Texas. Until next time, thank you so much, y'all, for listening to Teal Time with Hope. I am the host, Hope Aguilar. Lucy, you want to say au revoir, adios?
Chao, adiós. Gracias.